Greetings everyone and welcome to the channel. So the other day I was browsing around in YouTube and I noticed this video made by Tankenstein, where he states that the actual top speed of the Viggen in the dev server is not correct and it shouldn't be 1997 km per hour, but it should be way higher, 2231 km per hour. Now he does argue that Gaijin probably did some fuck-ups with the maths. I mean, that wouldn't be the first time, but in this case, that's not what happened. I already spoke with him on his comment section, I already spoke with him on his Discord, and I genuinely think this was a honest mistake, because the way we can explain this mistake is a little bit more complicated and not immediate. So you need to have a certain set of knowledge to tackle the problem. To understand what we are talking about and why do the number change so much between what is reported on something like Wikipedia and the actual number we get in game, we need to look at the actual performances of the plane. So here what you have in front of you is the kinematic graph of how basically the Viggen in the AJ37 configuration works. First thing first, this first line, it's the base engine with dry thrust on. And you can see that like when you approach the speed of sound, it loses a lot of power. To compensate for that, we have multi-stage afterburner. We have the zone 1, which is not effective at all basically. The zone 2, which is quite effective. Then there is where the fun begins basically, which is the zone 3 afterburner. It's the most powerful setting you can actually use on the Viggen. As you can see, there are multiple lines here. So the farthest line is the ISA -15, which stands for the International Standard Atmosphere -15, which is pretty important. We are going to speak about it in a second. Then there is the full line, which the ISA, and then there is the ISA +10, which is this line here. So basically, when you measure the actual speed of a plane, you need to consider the medium in which it is traveling. So if it's going to be a really cold day, you're going to have an ISA -15. And as you can see, if it's cold outside, you're going to get a higher speed overall than if you were in a standard condition. For standard conditions, we are speaking about like 1 atmosphere, 15 degrees at Celsius at sea level. ISA is +10 is probably like summertime, and ISA -15 is usually like winter time. As you can see, if it's winter time or it's really cold outside, the Viggen can actually reach about Mach 2.0 in the AJ37 configuration with the RM8A engine. But the Viggen we are going to get in game is the JA37C, which is not the ground attack variant, it's the air superiority variant, which mounts the RM8B engine, which has like 10 kN more thrust when it's at the far end of the spectrum here on the. So I don't have the graphs for that, but and I wasn't able to find them, but I managed to make a little graph to show you basically what it should look like. Here you can see that since the airplane is the same, since the engine is the same, everything is the same except the engine of the air superiority variant should be a little bit more powerful. This is basically what the kinematic graph for it should look like. It's a bit of a mess, I know, I'm sorry. I tried to highlight the important bits and I'm going to explain them now. So basically, with the RM8A in standard condition, you have to follow the yellow curve. And as you can see, at 11k meters, you're not going to go past 1.825 Mach. And this is a known fact if you have ever played DCS. In DCS, if you fly the AJ37, you don't fly the AJ37, you fly the AJS37, which still mounts the same engine, but once you reach 1.8 Mach, you basically hit a brick wall. You can't go past it unless you modify your environment. If it's cold outside, you can actually get up to almost Mach 2.0, but otherwise you will never be able to do it. At 9K, as you can see, the AJ37 will probably be more like 1.7. Sorry for the mismatching of the scale here. But yes, it will be closer to like 1.7 Mach number. While with the newer engine, with the RM80B, so the one of the JA37C we are going to get in War Thunder, it should be more close like to 1.825. And as you remember, Tankenstein was complaining that at 9K, the speed of the Viggen was exactly this, 1.8, which is basically saying that the Viggen we are going to get now is as powerful at 9K meters as the DCS Viggen is at 11K. If you look further at 11K, the Viggen we are going to get in War Thunder should actually be able to pass Mach 1.9, and that's the important thing. And you need to remember that all of these numbers, all of these graphs are related to the clean configuration. What is a clean configuration? A clean configuration is basically you don't have anything but fuel on the plane. You don't have arch points, you don't have anything except fuel, engine, and the pilot. As you can see, in the -15 region, you actually can get almost up to 2.1 Mach with the Viggen we are going to get in War Thunder. And that's probably where the 2.1 Mach comes from. We need to remember that Sweden is a pretty cold country, and the -15 is the baseline for the winter in like the southern region. But if you go farther north, you can actually get like -30, so it's probably going to be even further than here. There should be another line like for the ISA -30 that should be above Mach 2.1. It means that basically if you want to go at that speed, you're going to have basically no weapon at all, and you're not going to need to be on a cold map. I don't think that War Thunder actually models the difference in temperatures between maps. I think it's only a cosmetic thing, but I might be wrong. If you know more about it, please comment down below or respond to my video in any way, shape or form you prefer. But that's why in the stat card it states that the top speed of the Viggen we are going to get is going to be 1.8, which translates to 1997 km per hour. As you can see here, we are looking like we are using a max speed number calculator, and as you can see in standard conditions at 9,000 meters, the Viggen at 997 kilometers per hour will move at basically at 1.825 Mach number, which is perfectly fine. If you remember the graph I've shown you before, it should be close to that region. And that's basically the only important number we need for War Thunder, because every other plane is in standard conditions. It's not like in the particular conditions where you can get extreme number. Like the Italian F104 is the same, like it was capable to get to 2,700 kilometers per hour, but you needed to be like extremely high or in cold conditions, which you're not going to see in game. You also need to remember that to get to the speed of Mach 2.1, the Viggen uses something like 15% of its fuel every minute. And while it has excellent acceleration characteristics, it will end its fuel in like before you can even think about it. And it's never going to be actually employed in combat. That's more of a theoretical maximum speed you can get with the aircraft, and not the realistic speed you're going to get out of it in a combat situation. I hope this video cleared things up, and if you have any question or doubts about what I said in this video, please comment down below. And if you enjoy this kind of content, subscribe, and I'll try to make more videos analyzing what other YouTubers say and see if they make mistakes and try to correct them. Thank you everyone for your time, and see you on the next one. Bye bye.